Hello everybody on YouTube. I'm back cooking on the Coleman stove again in the greenhouse. Why am I cooking in the greenhouse? Well, I like being outdoors, camping, fishing, camp cooking. It's December and I don't have a lot going on in my greenhouse these days. Empty beds, empty shelves. Planted some lettuce today. Iceberg lettuce and butter crunch lettuce in that bed. Getting ready to plant some seeds in some of these cups and containers. Draining those barrels, getting that old water out. Try to raise fish one more time. Got a cutting off a bush in the back. It raises berries like this. I'm going to see if that'll sprout in that jar and make roots so I can grow a bush like that. Tried this before, it didn't work. Found some Japanese maple seeds out in the front yard under our Japanese maple. Put them in here on a tissue with a sandwich bag. And the greenhouse gets up about 90 degrees. It did today anyway. And I'm going to see if I can sprout them. They fell off in the fall and they're supposed to germinate when it gets cold. We've done had a couple freezes, so they should be germinated. And I have very little experience at that. And I'm going to see if I can grow Japanese maple trees. So, thought I would make not salmon patties, but tuna patties. Substitute salmon with tuna. Put my body camera on my shirt. Got my ham radio on in case somebody hollers at me. Just taking a puff off my cigarette here. Okay, I got butter in the skillets, iron skillet, a Lodge. Works really great. A Lodge skillet I just bought, never used. Used this one twice. It says USA on the bottom. My butter started brown. That skillet don't work near as good as this other one. I want to raise this camera up a little. Hope it turns out. So anyway, I just opened my tuna. And I want to mix it up with cornmeal, mustard. Tuna, star-kissed in water. Wire mesh on this shelf is sinking down. Worked great for raising planks. That's why I put that wire mesh up there. So the water would drain through when I water my plants. But now I'm going to put a piece of plywood on top of it. For make like a bench, a work bench if you want to call it. There is one can of tuna. These are pretty good. I make them with mustard and cornmeal. It's what my mom done growing up. She cooked a lot of salmon patties and added the mustard. That's where I got the idea. As I make deviled eggs, I load them up with mustard. I just like mustard. So that's that. And call me a picky eater, but there's something black in that tuna. I ain't eating that. Okay. Let's chop this up. I really needed a bowl. And I probably got too much in this plate. Well, we'll spread it out and make the best of it. Could have probably used a metal fork. Would have worked better. It'll work out. Just bought this, first time trying this. I've been known to put too much cornmeal in it. I want to be able to taste the fish or the tuna. So I'll go with that for right now. Mustard. Yep, I like mustard. Put that over there. Salt and pepper. That salt is really coming out. Brand new thing of salt. I just bought and opened it and probably put too much. Pepper. Yeah, I like pepper too. I hope I didn't get too much salt in that. Ain't nothing good when it's too salty. Got my skillets heating up. Butter's turning brown in the large skillet. That never happened before in the house. I probably should have had this mixed up and ready to go before I started this camera running. We'll see how it turns out. Don't want to make a long, boring, drawn-out video. Looks a little dry to me. We'll take care of that. Vegetable oil. Got that on my hands. I got to get me a piece of plywood on this bench. I got to have a level surface here to work on. Now I'm going to add some more cornmeal. Don't like how this is coming out. Can't get the mustard stirred in. They'll be good all the same. Redneck cooking, I guess you call it. Cast iron cooking. In the greenhouse. It's actually mixing up pretty good. Gonna have to make these patties by hand, or maybe I'll do it with a spoon. I did wash my hands before I came out here. I'm going to add some more cornmeal, and that was a Christmas gift. Somebody gave me that. I drink very little liquor or whiskey, very little. I probably still have that tiny bottle 3 months from now. We're about ready to get started frying here as soon as I mix in this last bit of cornmeal. I like these coated paper plates better than the styrofoam. Put something hot in styrofoam, it melts and sticks styrofoam to your food. That's enough to piss somebody off. A little bit of tuna there that's probably getting jealous because it don't have no mustard or cornmeal on it. We'll stir that in. Breaker kicked off on my surge protector a minute ago. I cut one light off. This is about ready to go. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, buddy. Alrighty. Wish me luck. Cooking makes me thirsty. Getting a little warm in here. I cut the heater off because that breaker kicked a minute ago. Got too much going on, too many lights. And I don't know why that butter browns in that skillet. First time using that type of butter. Land of Lakes from Weigel's on Christmas Day. Food City wasn't open. Trust the vegetable oil better. Let's see what happens. I don't want to get that all over my hands. I want to use spoon it in with this spatula. Instead of making patties, I'm just going to throw it in there. Wow, that's too hot. Cast iron cooking on Coleman stove. Bump my camera up just higher, just a little bit higher. So I like this pretty good. Tuna, mustard, cornmeal. And I like cooking on Coleman stove. It smells good. I kind of thought that third skillet in the middle would get hot enough to cook on. We'll see. Probably not. It's cold. I rotate them around. First time cooking in this little skillet here. It's a Lodge brand. Smells good, guys. Really does. So while that's cooking on my stove here, I took my stock pot, cast iron stock pot, added apple cider, apple juice, cinnamon, boiled that on the stove. When it cooled, hour and a half later, added vanilla vodka. And that smells really good, and I don't know why I didn't taste it before I poured it in, but I never tasted it. And regular vodka. Stirred that in together with the apple juice, apple cider, cinnamon. Put it in jars. Man, it's good. Better than the store-bought stuff. That's store-bought. So I took some of that I made, poured it in the store-bought stuff, added a piece of apple. So anyway, I'm going to bump the heat up. Heat is bumped up. So I don't want to flip it and it fall apart. I'm checking the heat right now. That skillet is rocking. It's rocking more than AC/DC. Turned it down. That was starting to rock. Popping. Smells good, guys. So I'm going to try to grow some more stuff in my greenhouse. Possibly raise some fish back there in those barrels. Grow me some more plants, flowers. Got some Christmas lights. They're supposed to put out some heat. That costs very little electricity. See if we can flip this over. Won't fall apart. I don't want it to fall apart. I want it to be one solid patty. I probably could put some flowers in there. That is flimsy too. Falling apart. I think egg mixed in would have helped, and it's too brown. I gotta flip it. Whether it falls apart or not, I gotta flip it. Too brown, too brown. I think when I make them on the stove in the house, the heat is more controlled. I got it too hot out here going on. Coleman stove and them cast iron skillets, man, they get hot. Turn the heat down. Got them turned down. They'll still be good. Some people like stuff a little burnt. Some people. This is going to be pretty good stuff. Coleman stove, cast iron cooking in a greenhouse, a Harbor Freight greenhouse. Who does that? What's happening here, guys, they're getting too brown on both sides. It's raw in the middle, is what I'm thinking. They always turn out good in the kitchen, on the stove in the kitchen. I'll figure it out here in a minute. It's just flimsy, falling apart. I don't understand it. This is going to be a disaster, but I'm going to flip it. This ain't working out, guys. I wanted solid salmon patties with tuna. Solid patties, but they're falling apart on me. I'm not sure what's going on here. Put that one over there with its brother. What I'm going to do, I want to cook on that little one that I've never used before. So I'm going to slide that over. See how this little skillet works out. I haven't used it before. And what I'm going to do is, that skillet's hot. I'm going to add the rest of this in that skillet that's already hot. And that skillet is rocking and wanting to be a rock star, so we'll just put that in there. So I got that in there. That skillet is hot. This one's cold. We're going to bump her up. I ain't bumping that up no more. It's hot enough. Well, this is not working out so good. I think I know what happened. I normally pat these out with my hands, make them solid and firm. I just dipped them in with this ladle, with this spatula. That is what happened. So anyway, I don't want to make a boring video. I'm going to get off here and deal with this. I don't like the way it's turning out. That is a Lodge brand. First time using it. Gave $5 for it. I think I paid $5 for this one. It's not a Lodge, but it says USA on it. Kind of looking a little bit better. That was coming along. Starting to be coherent. Bump her down. So when it gets done, I'm going to put them on this clean plate. When they cool, I'm going to put them in Ziploc sandwich bags, individually wrapped in sandwich bags, and eat me one of them here when it gets done. So, thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and got a lot of videos about ham radio, greenhouse growing, fishing, camping. I'll be back.